Starting tomorrow, August 28th, and running through Monday, September 1st, the grounds of Fort Gibraltar in Saint Boniface will come alive with the sights and sounds of great food, refreshing drinks, live music, and family fun. After a multi-year hiatus, A Taste of Manitoba is back in triumph. Featuring more than 20 local restaurants and a wide selection of beverages, the event gives attendees the perfect opportunity to sample the best of Manitoba's culinary scene while enjoying live music and a lively, family-friendly atmosphere. For those working in the restaurant industry, A Taste of Manitoba is also a chance to network, swap stories, and talk shop while soaking in an energetic environment that welcomes both adults and children. And joining me here over Zoom to discuss A Taste of Manitoba 2025 is Sean Jeffrey, Executive Director and CEO of the Manitoba Restaurant and Food Services Association. Hi, Sean. Great to
Good
have
afternoon,
you.
Chris.
You're over Zoom.
Yeah.
So I've caught you while you and your team are in the middle of setting up at Fort Gibraltar
Yeah.
for Taste of Manitoba. Why is Fort Gibraltar the perfect place for an event like this? Can you talk about the event venue and some of the
Yeah.
advantages that you can
It's what a great historic environment right here in the heart of St. Boniface. Fort Gibraltar, after many years of having Taste of Manitoba downtown and across the street from the legislature and Memorial Park, we were really looking in its reboot to be able to find a place that had a lot of built-in infrastructure, so things like washrooms and power and a great place for people to go and enjoy themselves, but then also have the amenities that are necessary to be able to have a food festival like this size. So Fort Gibraltar was amazing. It's a historic environment, a really cool place to go, even when there isn't food and local beverage there as well. So yeah, we're really excited, and this is the place where we wanted to be. And lots of parking, very accessible for Manitobans with accessibility challenges, and just a welcoming environment here in Whittier Park. So yeah, we are super excited to be able to hold it here at Fort Gibraltar.
Mhm. A Taste of Manitoba took several years off. Can you talk about some of the reasons why the Manitoba Restaurant and Food Services Association wanted to bring the event back?
Well, yeah. So the last year that Taste Manitoba ran was 2006, and it was always run. It started in 1988, and it always was operated by the Manitoba Restaurant and Food Service Association. So, but unfortunately, in 2006, after some years where we had a lot of problems with things like permitting and really the space that we had, that Memorial Park space, although it's a great green space right in the heart of downtown. It just wasn't really conducive to having a food festival at it because it didn't have any infrastructure, no washrooms, no water, no power. It didn't have
Mhm.
anything. And the cost of putting an environment together in a food festival and having all the infrastructure that you need to bring in to make that happen, it was just too expensive. So when Taste of Manitoba 2.0 came on the table, this has been an 8-year journey for myself. I started in 2018 with the Restaurant Association, but I spent a decade working for Red Lobster, and I worked at Taste Manitoba the first time around. So it was really kind of a great way for me to kind of bring back this food festival that I spent a lot of my early career at, and but this time a little bit later in my career.
Mhm. I was looking at the restaurants who are participating this year. They're all great and they're very Manitoba centric. You've got Carlos and Murphy's, Silver Heights Restaurant, Peasant Cookery, etc. Why was it so important for you and the organization to be so hyper local and to focus on that?
Yeah, that was we've been researching and working with the great, amazing organizers of Taste of Edmonton, which is the largest taste program in Canada in over the last 3 years, and really kind of looked at what they were doing. They were really focused on local restaurants. So, and when we wanted to do this, we wanted to make sure that A Taste of Manitoba was exactly that, a taste of things from Manitoba. We wanted to
Mm,
make sure that, only Manitoba made beverages were being served there. Only Manitoba alcohol was being served there. Manitoba restaurants owned and operated by Manitobans right here in the province. And yes, you might have a couple chain businesses out there, but those chain businesses are owned by local Manitobans who live and work and support this economy. So we wanted to make sure that we had a really good representation. Plus, we also went out and made sure that the restaurants that we were serving out would have a lot of variance in ethnicity and diversification. So we wanted to make sure that we had all the best and all the various types of food ethnics that we had out there, and that was really important for us in putting this up around again. So yeah, very important for us to be able to do that.
mm, mm. Uh, it's completely free to attend, but people have got to buy tickets to get
Yeah.
food and beverages. Can you
Mhm.
talk about that process and how that
Yeah.
works?
That's the process from 1988. Never changed and still being utilized all over Canada. And really, it's easy. It's just like we wanted to make sure it was a free event. We wanted to make sure that all Manitobans could come out and enjoy Taste of Manitoba and not have to worry about paying entry fees and stuff like that. With that being said, you just buy tickets. Each ticket is $2, and all the restaurants are serving anywhere between 2 and 3 items on their menu, and each one of those items is either 3, 4, or 5 tickets. So those ticket prices, based on what you want to buy and the size of them, will get you a small, medium, or a large portion based on the amount of tickets that you're being charged. So it's an easy way for it to not have to worry about cash and debits and interact and all that kind of fun stuff, and signal and cellular, which is very bad here. Making sure that we had, and not slowing Manitobans down, getting them their food fast. And the ticket way has been utilized for the last 35 years at taste festivals throughout the country. So we decided to stick with what was the normal here too.
And I can imagine one of the real drawing points is like you've got restaurants who are going to be participating, like 529
Oh
Wellington,
yeah,
Ray and Jerry's.
yeah.
It seems like a super reasonable way to taste some of the food that they've got, right?
It's mind blowing. And we when we priced this out, we priced it out. We're from Manitoba, man. Manitobans, they will let you know if it's not a good value. So you know what? I was born and bred in this province and worked in the restaurant industry for almost 3 decades. So the reality is that we wanted to make sure it was worth every single dollar you came out. So some of these items that you're getting are only going to be $6 and $8. Which in this economy and the inflation that has been so rampant throughout the country is pretty reasonable. And all the beverages that you would partake in here, whether it's non-alcoholic or alcoholic beverages, are all priced extremely reasonable. You're looking at a Pepsi's going to be $4, which is what you'd pay for it at a co-op. So,
Mm,
it's we kept it at a point where we wanted to make sure Manitoba's got value and enjoy their time here, because we have to make sure that we take care of Manitobans. They're also suffering and living in this inflationary world as well. So we made sure that we were conscious of those kind of things when we were creating the menu.
hmm So it's a food festival, which is super great, super awesome, and it's a
Oh,
very festive atmosphere. And one of the
yep.
things I noticed is there's live music, and
Oh, so many things.
as a
Yeah.
child as a child of the 80s and 90s, I'm super
Yeah.
interested in the 80s day and the 90s day. Can you talk about the live
Yeah, yeah, every day is a theme day. So Thursdays are hospitality night. So where people from the hospitality industry can come out and get our pre-sale package discounts that night if they work in the hospitality industry. Fridays is 80s day. So we're going to have some, 80s bands. We're going to be pumping some 80s musics. You possibly will see Sean dressed in some 80s gear. He's got some pretty rockin' 80s gear ready to go. And then Saturday being 90s day, me growing up in the 90s, it's again also going to be a great day. And we're going to be going around and handing out gift cards all day long to people that we just see that are participating in 80s, 90s, montage and the old school, right? So, and then on
Mm,
top of that, we have some food contests happening on the Saturday and Sunday as well. Sunday is family day, where we actually have an amazing magician. Evan Morgan is coming actually to join us that day and going to put on a magic show. And then we're going to have kids games, and kids are going to be getting free tickets if when their parents buy tickets. We're going to be giving tickets to kids for free, so they can eat for
wow.
free that day. Yeah, and then Monday is our first responders day. We have to recognize, especially after wildfires in Manitoba, what our first responders have been going through. So if you're a first responder, fire, medical, police, paramedic, please just bring your ID badge. You're going to get pre-sale discounts, which is a pretty significant discounts, about 15% off your tickets for that day, just for being the amazing people that you are. So, and then on top of that, we have bands. And then even on top of that, we have our vendor village, which is going to be one of the larger vendor farmers markets right in the walls, right in the
Mm.
walls here. So you'll be able to go out and grab some food, listen to a band, maybe go buy some cool stuff. We have a lot to do inside this environment. So we're super pumped about that.
And I was checking out the vendor village, like all the products are made here in Manitoba, right?
All made here. Yeah, we made sure that was a pre-qualification, and they're really kind of some really cool items. We actually vetted out. We had quite a significant interest in participating in this, and so we had to max it out at 25 vendors. But yeah, we wanted to make sure, and it's great because you can go grab your food, and then right behind our vendor village is our family and fun area. So with picnic tables and umbrellas and kids games, and you can go buy some stuff and grab a seat and have a snack, and then go back into the fort and grab a beverage and maybe listen to a band and maybe talk to some cool people that are in these booths. Like you're going to have some of these booths, like, Tony Sawicki, who owns Silver Heights, he's going to be cooking in his booth all weekend. And not very
Mm.
often you get to see the mayor of St. James hanging out at a food festival. So yeah, we're really super pumped about the environment for sure.
Mm-hmm. This is so great. As you mentioned earlier, you were a participant of a Taste of Manitoba years ago. What is it about this event that you find so exciting, and what are you excited about for the weekend,
Yeah.
bringing it back?
Yeah, the reason that we decided to really bring this back, and it was been my 8-year mission, is that, it is a really great way to highlight the hospitality industry. Look, I've spent over 3 decades working in the hospitality industry myself, and I've worked in other industries. This is the best place to be. This is the best place to start your career, further your career, or end your career. And if you come and hang out with us over the next 5 days in Taste of Manitoba, you're going to see exactly why. Because the atmosphere, the camaraderie, the dedication that each one of these, foodies and culinarians and owners and operators of restaurants have with each other, you'll see it. It's amazing. They're all friends. We're all one big happy family here in Manitoba. And although I love some of these other industries, they're just not a funner industry out there. So you come and check it out at Taste of Manitoba, grab some food and listen to a band, but also you're going to go check out some really cool people hanging in those booths making your food, and talk to them. They want to talk to you, right? This is a great environment to learn about our industry.
Mm. The event is free and it's family friendly, and you can
Betcha.
buy tickets online.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
can people go to buy
Yeah,
tickets
sure.
online? And can you
Taste. Yeah,
talk
sure.
about
Yeah.
some of the advantages to buying online?
Yeah, you can buy them on site. You can buy them online. You can do whatever you want. It's actually, we have multiple we'll have 4 distribution points for tickets at the event itself. Plus, you can buy them online at tasteofmb.com. That's tasteofmb.com. And right on the front page, it says buy tickets. And you'll be able to buy them. And they'll send you a QR code. And then when you get here, they'll just scan your QR code and give you your tickets. And that kind of expedites the line a little bit.
Mm.
We expect about 700 to 900 Manitobans at one time inside the walls of Gibraltar and the outside area. So, it might get a little bit busy. So if you want to get ahead of that, you can just, like I said, you scan your QR code when you get here and you get your tickets quick.
Mm. Sean, the 2025 Taste of Manitoba sounds just fantastic and super yummy. I hope it's a
Yeah.
big success this year and for the next years to come. Thanks so much for taking the time to sit down and talk to me today. It's been great.
It's amazing, man. Thanks for your time, Chris. You take care.